Hello, friends and family and friends of the dining car. We're here for another one of our Instagram live cooking demonstrations. Today, we're planning on it being short and sweet, literally. We're doing a sesame crusted pan-seared salmon with a teriyaki glaze. We're going to put a little hint of orange in that glaze. This is another one of these dishes, like last week, that is something that is a common ingredients that you can make at home simply in under an hour. So we're going to start with the glaze. So I'm putting this little pan on. You can use something like this if you'd like, which is a saucepan. This is a small frying pan. We're going to use the frying pan because it's induction ready and it's fun. Traditionally, so teriyaki. Speak to me of teriyaki. I will speak to you of teriyaki. Teri means shiny, and yaki means grilled. We're neither grilling. We're not grilling, but we're going to make something a little shiny. But that's what teriyaki means. It's not about a specific flavor. But we've all come to know this flavor of teriyaki chicken, which is made with sake. This is the most pedestrian of sakes that you can find at your local markets, called gekikan. And this is mirin, which is sweet and is also a wine. But we are going to do a dish, and I'll give you the recipe for the traditional, which is also very simple, but we're going to do one with stuff that you might actually have around the house, like sherry. Again, this is a brand of sherry that you'll find at your local liquor store. I also like Madeira, which is very, very similar, just comes from a few miles away from the place where sherry comes from. What you want is a medium sweet. You don't want the sweetest. You don't want Harvey's Bristol cream sherry because it'll be overly sweet. But if you had it, you just pull back on the sugar. Okay? So we're going to start with a quarter cup of soy sauce. Put that in the pan. Turning up the heat. You're going to put in 2 tablespoons. This is the kind of brown sugar that a lot of you have. I know it. Admit it. Right? It's old, it's crusty. You're like, oh man. Not so hot for baking. Perfect for this.
But you can use white sugar if you wanted, or honey, or other sweeteners.
You could use a wonderful local honey, or the stuff that comes in a beautiful plastic bear. And yes, you can use any sweetener. Honey. I was talking to my mom a couple of weeks ago, and she was looking for something to do with chicken, and she used maple syrup, and to great accolades from Dad. Sherry. This is actually Madeira.
We're going to
2 tablespoons.
Finish it off.
Madeira is just a type of sherry.
Madeira and sherry are both made within miles of each other in Spain and Portugal. All right. And because I'm not using the traditional ingredients, I'm adding a little hit of water. Maybe a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, let's say. Okay? And we're just going to let that reduce down a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to come over here and look at our fillet of salmon. This is about 1 3/4 pounds of farm-raised salmon. Not all farm-raised salmon is irresponsibly farmed. There's well-farmed salmon. There's terribly farmed salmon. Just like there are, vegetables that are grown irresponsibly and vegetables that are grown responsibly. The farm salmon tends to have more fat content, and that's why I like it. But
that shows the fat.
Yeah, all of this. But the wild-caught salmon does have extraordinary flavor. So it's not like I'm down on wild-caught salmon. It's just that by having less fat, you have a little less leeway in the pan. Having more fat gives you a little bit more room to get, if you overcook it a little, and it's more succulent. The wild-caught salmon tends to be leaner, and you're going to have a little less wiggle room. So.
Hi, Erwin.
Erwin! Erwin, I'd like to crack a beer in your honor.
A nice Corona.
A nice Corona. No. I don't think Erwin drinks Corona. Erwin has very fine taste. All right, so I'm going to portion this salmon. This is the belly of the salmon, and it's very, very thin. I'm going to just square this off a little bit and take a little bit of this off. I will eat this later. Believe me, this is not. This is.
Sushi style.
Oh yeah. Or you can just throw that in the pan. But if you have too much that's very, very thin off the edge, it's going to change your cooking. So now we're going to make about 4-ounce portions, just like this.
That's so pretty.
And I think I'm just going to make 4 for us. I'm going to leave this over here, because that's what will be nice in the pan. Naomi, can I have a half pan?
Mm-hmm.
Got my hand-woven towel back again. No, this is, I did say a half pan, but I meant a half of the pan that we usually use, which is a quarter pan. You could not know that, although you do a pretty good job of knowing what I mean rather than what I say. I gotta say that.
So what's that?
These are untoasted sesame seeds. Untoasted sesame seeds. This is probably the one ingredient that you might not have out there, but you can find in your grocery store.
Can they use toasted, or they should be?
It's better to use untoasted. You can use toasted. Don't put in the oxygenator, because you're not supposed to eat that. And we're going to preheat our pan. The sauce, let me just check that sauce. Tasting pretty good. Put that over there. Okay.
How hot do you want the pan?
I want this pan on medium high. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just take the sides of the salmon, like this, and lay them down in the sesame seeds. And seeds are going to go, it's not a meticulous thing, okay? The protein on the outside of the salmon is going to, the protein in the water is going to stick the sesame seeds to your fish. And when you go like this, you've got a nice layer of sesame seeds. Okay?
Oh, I never thought to put it on its side like that.
I know.
I'm still learning.
Yeah. Yeah. And some will climb up the side. It's not a problem at all. Okay. Got a little canola oil here. I can do this because I know that I can do this. A decent amount of oil, a couple of tablespoons. It's not all going to go on into your dish. Give it a second. You can see a little shimmer in the oil when the oil is hot. It actually physically shimmers. Randy, if you came in, you could see that. Like, can you see that? Like right there?
That's just reflecting.
That it's not a plain clear reflection. Oh, it's not shimmering. It's not hot enough. But it'll get there. All right. While we're doing in that. So that's going to cook for a few minutes, and I'll show you how we know when it's time to turn it over. We're going to take about a ½ inch of ginger. Just crush it like that. We're going to take a clove of garlic. Crush it. Take off the skin. This is not traditional in teriyaki. It's what I like. We're going to just put that into our sauce and let the flavor get into our sauce while we're cooking the fish.
Is there a reason you don't cook it with those things then?
I love the bright, fresh flavor of the of the ginger, and the brighter taste of a little bit of the raw garlic juice going into there. It's not harsh. It's just what comes out from the crushed cells of the garlic. And if you cooked it, it would have an entirely different flavor. Everything would be more earthy and in the background. Also, when you cook it, the salt comes up. Yeah.
Smells good like always.
So, with this dish, I would recommend, like, you make some rice. Naomi brought a pot of rice. Just before we started the video, we made some sauteed pea tendrils. Now, this is not something that you get everywhere. I have a wonderful Asian market near me. That's where I got them. But spinach, Swiss chard, broccoli, any side dish that you'd like can go with that. While those are cooking on that side, we'll take some scallions to make for garnish. In this day and age, I find myself with a lot of vegetables that are like a little bit past their prime. Like we have wilting scallions, but all you have to do is peel off the wilted part, and you're good to go. These are going to be our garnish. If you want to be all fancy pants, you go on a sharp angle, and then you make very thin slices, like that, of the green, and that gives you nice these really long, very dramatic looking slivers.
Hey, David, tell people when you like to use the green or the white of a scallion.
Sure. So the green scallion is a little bit milder, and it's good for a garnish. The white part of the scallion is more like an onion. And if we were cooking a stir fry, we could cut off this root end and then cut up like up to here and put that in the cooking, and it would be nice and mild. All right, this is my fork. So can you see how the heat is climbing up the side of the salmon? When it gets about halfway, I'm going to take a peek. Look at the color. It's just getting brown now, but that's one way that you can measure where you're at, is see where the heat has traveled up the side of the fish. And people have a lot of mystery about cooking fish, especially in a pan, unless it's fried, unless it's breaded and fried. That's one of the ways that you can tell. And here we go.
Salmon's easy because it changes color.
That's true. That's true. But all the fish will change texture, and they'll become flaky. But it's such a shame, like so much fish is overcooked, and that's unfortunate. Out of like a fear of not knowing whether it's cooked. See that? There you go. All right. So it takes less time on the second side. Feels like this pan's a little slow today. But it's getting there though. So, I hope you've been cooking. Maybe some of you have sent me pictures of pierogies and of roasted chicken thighs, which is so cool to see pictures of people's food that they've taken from our recipes. This recipe is not up there now, but it will be tonight. And again, it's just 3 or 4 ingredients, you know, and whatever size you have around. We'll start plating this. We're almost done. Thank you.
So what's this? Just rice?
This is white rice. This is jasmine rice.
No, I changed my mind at the last minute.
Remember I said it didn't matter?
Yeah, this is a medium grain rice, a long name beginning with a C. That I figured I'm gonna do it here.
Almost there. All right. Now, I'm going to finish this sauce with a little sesame oil. I like spicy, and I think Randy and Naomi like spicy. So we're going to put in a little hot sesame oil. But you can put in regular sesame oil if you're not so into spice. I'm taking out the garlic and the ginger. Okay.
This is a staple in my house, hot sesame oil. Love it.
And I'll probably drizzle a little more on the top. So check this out right here. Yep, everything's looking good. We'll just put 3 on, because that's what looks nice.
Nice.
And use a spoon. Here comes our glaze. What do you think? Should I put a little glaze on the rice?
I like some glaze on the rice. I'm not sure. Oh,
No.
not right now.
No. All right. Okay.
We gotta get those good Instagram photos,
Glaze,
guys.
glaze will go on the side. Okay.
Put a little scallion on the rice.
Downey's gonna go all over the place.
Jess, Disney Princess Life said, the salmon looks delicious.
Oh, hey, Jess. It definitely is a family affair on Instagram. I think your cousin's on too, David.
Oh, nice. Hello. And there we have it. Pan-Seared Sesame Crusted Salmon with a teriyaki glaze. I didn't do the orange. If you want to do the orange, all you have to do is take a microplane and an orange and just put a little orange zest over the top, and you'll get a little orange essence.
That smells nice.
When we do meatball class, you want to know how to make Mama's meatballs.
Mama's gonna come. She's gonna come make meatballs. It's good. Yes, we plan on doing that. So, yeah, we're gonna do a few more of these. Then we're gonna be serving food. We're gonna be doing prepared foods. We're gonna talk more about it in a little bit. But we're gonna be in touch with you over these next few weeks. We'll do a few more of these demos, and then we're gonna come back and reveal our big plans. For now, we're gonna go eat, and then we're going to go to storage and unpack things that have been in Naomi's house and put them in our storage unit.
Yay! Let's eat.
Also, one other thing, we are probably going to be changing the time of our Instagram posts, so we might do more weekdays instead of weekends, just because on a sunny Sunday we want to be outside. So we'll definitely keep you posted on
How
that.
does Wednesday sound to everybody? Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock.
Wednesdays. Plan on that. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.